So the new Iron Giant event has officially started, and with it comes a new weapon for Red 13 that might be one of the best magic weapons for those of us that are free to play, and that's because we can get up to 11 copies of this thing, and then we get some weapon parts and memory crystals for him as well, plus some other jackpot prizes in the victory draw for the bronze silver tickets. But before we get into why Red 13's newest weapon could be so good, let me show you the best way to prep and what you should be bringing to be best equipped for the Iron Giant event. So as predicted, the Iron Giant is weak against water, and this sigil here, he's immune to poison, fog, darkness, silence, fatigue, magic attack down, and magic defense down, so you can't debuff his magic. But what you can debuff is his physical attack and his physical defense, so keep that in mind. It says he has extremely high physical attack and uses many physical attacks as well. Becomes incapacitated for a certain amount of time. When physical defense up, the buff granted by Mighty Guard is removed. So once this buff is gone, he'll be incapacitated. That's when you can deal your damage and debuff him and just go all out. And then it says physical attacks are effective against this enemy. So what that means is you're going to want to bring in as many water physical damaging weapons as you have. There's two in the game that I know of that are physical, and that's Cloud's Maritime Sword that was during the beach event. And if you don't have that, there is Lucia's Serpent Eater. I'll go ahead and show you those real quick. We have Cloud's Maritime Hunter or Maritime Sword here. This at base level 90 will deal 400% physical water damage to a single ally. This at base will deal 400% physical water damage to a single enemy. And if you didn't need a Cloud Sword during the beach event, you have Lucia's Serpent Eater. This is the second option. This at level 90 base does 420% physical water damage to a single enemy. It gives Lucia more magic attack as opposed to Cloud's sword. It gives him more physical attack. But either of these weapons is fine. You can bring either of these and you should be okay. And then, like I said, you can't debuff the Iron Giant with magic, so you can't like make him take more magic damage. But there are two other weapons that deal water-based magic attacks, and that is Matt's Orthodox Raven, which is right here. This at base will do 290% magic water damage to all enemies. So this is an AoE. Not great, but it's an option just for the water weakness. And then we have Red 13 and his color, the Noble color, which is right here. This at base level 90 will deal 280% magic water damage to all enemies. Again, another AoE magic water damaging attack. So those are all your weapons that we have currently that are in the game that are water type. And then of course you're going to want to bring some water materia. So you're going to be bringing in Cloud or Lucia, who's going to be focusing on physical. You want to have water below as high as you can get them. A 3-star is fine, but if you have a 4-star, that's even better. So put those on your physical damage dealers, and then obviously you want to have water on your magic damage dealers. So I'll have one on Aerith for my healer, and then whoever else I bring with me. Another thing to look into is maybe you can bring a barrier, because this will give you a physical defense buff for about 26 seconds. So that'll be nice. You want to have that because this Iron Giant does massive amounts of physical damage. So have the barrier on there just because, why not? It wouldn't hurt. But once you get enough of these tickets for doing the missions here, you'll have bronze and you have silver. You'll bring these in and you'll turn these in and get prizes for them. Each level has jackpot prizes. Level 1 has the iron color, and then 5 draw tickets. Once you collect these, you will be able to move on, level up to level 2, and then collect these, move on to level 3. Do that all the way to level 5 at the very least, just to collect all the iron color copies you can get. It's after level 5 it stops giving you the weapon, but you can get memory cores for Red 13 and then some nano cubes and stuff like that. You can farm these if you want. It's just not necessary to waste your stamina on it, I don't think. Maybe it is for the genome pods and the nano cubes, just because they're kind of hard to come across. But this also pertains to the silver tickets as well. It's the same thing. Iron color level 1, level 2, all the way to level 5. That's the final time you get it. Again, you got the pink genome pods this time. Level 6, same thing. Get the pink nano cubes and the pink pods here. And 7, I don't believe there's any jackpot prizes. This is all just limited prizes, but once you collect all those, that's done. But again, this is not needed. This is not needed in any fashion. And then I assume they're going to do the same thing with what they did with Sephiroth, as that towards the end they're going to have a gold ticket event and another weapon drop, so you'll have that as well. So don't really burn your stamina too much, but burn it enough to get you know, if you want this for red, definitely I think it's worth it. Also too, you can come in here and do your dailies at least. You'll get like 300 of the bronze or 400 bronze every day, and then 300 silver every day if you collect 500. So that's about 800 of the silver tickets, and then quite a bit of the bronze tickets. So at least do your dailies at the very minimum, and you'll get plenty of tickets doing that. But now that we know how to farm this event and what to bring in so you can be best prepared, let's talk about Red 13's weapon and why I think it's pretty good for free-to-play players. So this weapon for red really isn't that great at base. It doesn't really stack up well against all the other weapons that he has. So the first one you get, and if you get it to level 90, this will deal 260 magic non-elemental damage to a single enemy with 10% crit rate, and it also does a debuff of physical defense for 20 seconds for low potency. It gives you 16 points boost attack, which is really good. This would be good to have for a sub weapon for your magic and damage dealers, I think. And you've got your boost critical percent, and then you got your boost critical potency, and in material you got attack boost, physical attack boost. So there's that. Why I think this is going to be very good for red and for free-to-play players is because it's going to be very, very easy to get at minimum 11 or 10 copies of this. So we'll have tons of stats here that'll be able to put on red or whoever you're running this with, any magic attacker or even really physical attacker, because it has so much stats. You're not going to have many weapons for Red 13 maxed out like this, so that's why I think it's really good. And then once you get it up to this point, it'll deal 360 damage as opposed to the 260, so it does 100% more damage. And I believe the physical defense debuff lasts a little bit longer, so it's 8 more seconds, and then it boosts your attack up for 27 points as opposed to the 16. So there's that. But like I mentioned before in the beginning of this video, this is mostly aimed at free-to-play players because we don't really have a lot of weapons that have multiple copies for Red 13 at the moment. At least I don't. This will be the only thing I have. I haven't really gotten lucky with red for anything. But if you're a free-to-play player, this is going to probably be one of your best weapons for red if you can get as many copies, at least 10. You will be able to get 11 copies of this if you can do the Iron Giant EX1, because here's a copy here, and then there's 10 copies I believe in the victory draw on that end. But that's all for this video. Let me know how you feel about this new weapon for red if you're free to play. If you're going to be using it, maybe try to build a build around it with red. I'm certainly going to be using it because I would like to actually utilize red. He's one of my favorite characters. But if you found the video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content and guides. And be sure to check out this video up here for more Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis content and guides. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.